All right, guys, we're back here on Southeastern 16, presented by FanDuel. SEC basketball Sunday action, and we had a stream this morning. We talked about Tennessee's win over Auburn. We said, boy, it's going to be interesting to see how this Florida-Alabama game plays out. Will Amari Allen play? We didn't know at the time this morning. We were unsure. He played 21 minutes in this game. And, on the surface, Max, we would have thought, well, that's probably significant for Alabama in terms of pushing Florida to the limit here. Didn't happen. Florida just absolutely throttled them. Florida wins 100-77 in this game. Alabama just hardly any resistance defensively, and they turned it over 18 times. Florida only turned it over twice in an SEC basketball game. Alex Condon was an absolute stud. Everybody was picking on Alex Condon. Which game was it? The Auburn game? Is that right? Didn't play well. Had 1 point, 9 rebounds, 4 turnovers in that game in 37 minutes. He said, hang on a second. I got you. Because he went for 25, 7, 6, 2, and 2 in this game. 0 turnovers. 11 of 15 from the floor. Up against Charles Bediako and company. On the other side, Tommy H., Sir Thomas with 22 points in this game. Boogie with 15. Rueben goes for 14 and 17 because, of course, he did. By the way, I forgot to mention Boogie with 8 steals and 8 assists. The man was 2 steals and 2 assists away from a triple-double. Just absolutely took it to the Gators. Took it to the Crimson Tide here.
Statement right there. That's a statement if I've ever seen one. I think Holly says it best here. Golden called his shot earlier. I'm going to beat him anyways. Don't matter. Put whoever you want out on that floor. Eligible or not going to make a difference. Holy smokes. That was the best 40 minutes of defense I think I've watched this year. That was unreal. 18 turnovers. There's a reason why it didn't feel right to put a defensive player of the year or a defensive player of the week on this weekend yet. There was something in the air, Blake. We knew. 8 steals, 1 off the school record for Boogie Fland. It felt like in that second half there, it was more likely Alabama's possession was going to end in a steal than it would getting a shot up, anything other than ending with a swipe from Boogie Fland. That was incredible. The blocks from Rueben and Condon, right here. Rueben, Defensive Player of the Year, not only in the SEC, he might give Tugler a run for National Defensive Player of the Year. The ability for Tommy, Condon, and Rueben to switch onto any guard and stay in front of any guard, it's just ridiculous. They don't need threes, Blake. They don't need 3-pointers when everything else is this elite. What a statement.
All right, so the chat's telling me something's wrong with my volume here, Max. We literally did a stream 4 hours ago. Nothing's changed, so I have no idea. You sound good on this end? Okay, I don't know what else to do. Again, this thing has been set up exactly like it was this morning. So if you can't hear me, again, let me know in the chat. Okay, Word Up Ninja says sound good now. Who knows? Sometimes we never know how this service can work. So, all right. Yeah, I found this from 9-time champion. 72 points in the paint. Alabama scored 77 in the game. Florida had 72 in the paint. Max Barr.
Yeah, Bediako had 3 offensive rebounds in the first 3 minutes. He finished with 3 offensive rebounds. In the first 5 minutes of the game, I'm watching this and I'm thinking, Alabama's front court is matching. Maybe not matching, but resisting, And I was like, okay, if that's the case, if it's going to be an even matchup in the front court here, oh boy, we're going to be in for one. And that lasted only literally 3 minutes. After that, it was all Gators. Condon started getting going early, and then it didn't take long for Rueben to follow suit.
Bring up a good point here, and we didn't really talk about this much in the preview, but if you really do look at the games these two teams have played, let's go back, right? All right, so last year it was, Florida won that one 104-82 in the SEC tournament, won 99-94 in Tuscaloosa. They play another time last year? I don't think they did, right? Only 2 times last year. If you go back the year before, Florida won that one 102-88 in the SEC tournament and then won 105-87 at home. So, like, Florida has just, and they just put up 100 again on them.
Yep.
Like, think about that. Like, that is something. So.
And how about the Rueben versus Charles matchup there? I mean, Rueben, that was as good of a Rueben game as I've seen. And you got to love the getting the crowd into it. Great crowd there today. But down the stretch there, Rueben just absolutely taking over. Is Rueben, who's the favorite here from the Gators for SEC Player of the Year? Is it Tommy H or Rueben now? Because Rueben is making a push.
So here's what I want you to consider. Okay? If you're putting together a 5-man first team all SEC right now, how can you not put both of those guys on there?
That's a good point.
But I mean, then it becomes who you leaving off. But like, really, if you're really thinking about this at this moment, I don't know how you don't put both of those guys on that first team. Somebody's going to get left off, and they're not going to like it. But I just think these are easily 2 of the top 5 players in the league right now, and the impact both of these guys are making. I think you got to put them on there. So
Rueben is top 3 in offensive rebounding, and then he's the number 1 defensive rebounder in the SEC. Not even to mention the defense, the switchability onto any position. It's game-changing. It's absolutely game-changing. I think it was Jimmy Dykes. Oh, speaking of the broadcast, how good is it to have Dickie V on a broadcast? I love it. I absolutely love it. A little nostalgia there. Dickie, you might not have the same fastball as he used to, but it's still great to hear Dickie V on a call. But even then, they were saying, this is not just the SEC Defensive Player of the Year. We're talking national here, folks. One of the best bigs in the country.
Well, say one of the best in the country, and that's Chris with a $20 super chat here. Down there in Clearwater, celebrating a little Gators beatdown, Chris says. Let's go Gators. Well, cheers. We appreciate Chris jumping in. What a super chat here. 20 buckaroos. Yeah, I mean, this Florida team, and I know like the Auburn game happened, and you're feeling a little down, all this other stuff. But I'd say this one will make up for it a little bit when it comes to kind of getting one back. You feel like, especially we mentioned kind of the tension coming into this game, these two teams, and all that stuff. So yeah, that's something. By the way, Josh is here. Missed the show this morning. I know Josh probably thought we were going to do it last night. We did have to call a bit of an audible based on schedule and stuff, but appreciate Josh for the $5 super chat. Tennessee won't lose again until at Vandy. Reminder there, folks. Also, Florida could repeat as champs. There's Josh giving you some, I mean, they could. If they're playing like this, like they did today, not a lot of teams in the country are going to be able to match up with the Gators. So,
an unsung hero here, the Gators run in SEC play has been Irby Clapjar. We have not given Irby Clapjar enough credit. He's on a 4-game streak of double-digit scoring outputs. He's only not scored in double digits in 2 games in SEC play. He's at double digits in 7 out of 9 games. I mean, this is a big piece to this team. I would even say he's a little bit more consistent than Aberdeen was last year at this point. Aberdeen was a huge piece down the stretch for that run for Florida, but he wasn't this consistent game in, game out in January, now February. Yeah. Like, Irby Clapjar is a huge piece. And then also the minutes from Isaiah Brown. I mean, oh my gosh, that was a tough sequence. Him going for the alley-oop when it was for Rueben, and then he fouls Phylon on the 3 in the next possession. It's like 6-point swing. Oh my gosh, that's huge in a game like this. But even Isaiah Brown, you feel comfortable in that rotation that Florida's got in the backcourt now with, Lee, Boogie, then Irby, Isaiah Brown to, pair up with that front court. It's solid.
Yeah. And this may be, that this may wind up be the thing. Like this point here, like just one more guy kind of step up in that same kind of role. That's where like Florida feels like they are just, at an even higher level, which they're obviously playing at a high level right now. But I think it's a good point. So, and they have options to do that. So. For sure. All right. Josh has a $2 super chat. All caps. What's happening in Birmingham? So, Josh gonna ask us there on that one.
Get a
so,
shot in. Get a shot in.
I mean, it's again. I think for the Florida side of this, the Gators have now scored 195 points in their past 2 games. That's worth noting. Put up 195, 95 against South Carolina, 100 against Alabama. So, nice place to be. I remember they were on that streak where they had, 4 straight SEC games with 91 or more points. Dipped a little bit with LSU and Auburn, but now they're back again. And, hey, the way that game next Saturday against Texas A&M shapes up, who knows? Maybe we get a little 105, 103 type action in that one. Wouldn't mind seeing that. So, wouldn't mind saying that. So, all right.
I think the glaring thing with Alabama is the lack of turnovers forced and the defensive pressure. It just it feels like when they play like a real efficient, well-oiled offense, there's just no resistance. It's get to your spot wherever you want to get to. Trying to find my Torvik's not loading. No, perfect timing. Yeah, in the past month, they're 350th in turnover percentage defense. The bottom 15 in the country forcing turnovers. There's no initial frontline pushback, Blake.
Yeah. Here's a question from Connor asked, someone commented in the preview show, 100 to 67. Blake said, crown the Gators if that happens. Does this count? Did I say that? If I did, then crown them because put it on there. So I don't remember if I said that or not, but I may have. And I mean, I think at this point, we checked our FanDuel odds this morning, Max. I think Florida was they were still minus, I think, 135, something like that, maybe, to win the SEC. Texas A&M had moved up to second, rightfully so, at like plus 380, I think. We'll have to see where it is after this game. But, yeah, I mean, look, if they're having performances like this, with no disrespect to Texas A&M, Florida's winning the SEC if they look like they did today.
Right.
The rest of the way. Like, it's going to happen. But, it's a long way to go. We're only halfway through this thing. So, yeah.
Yeah, still a ton of basketball to play. Is Florida the most, misrepresented by the AP poll being number 19? I mean, are
they at number 19? Max, I couldn't have told you where they were in the AP poll. I've not looked at the AP poll once this season. I have no idea. Do you want me to look at the AP poll for the first time? Hold on.
Yeah, they are.
First
they
time
are.
this season.
Yeah, 19.
Are they?
19.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, there's not even close.
Okay, here's a question for you. Who's number 18?
I couldn't tell you.
I have no idea. I just am curious. Like that, this will be like a great representative of the poll, perhaps. I've not looked at it once this year. So
no, that's I know. That's why we don't look at it, because in no way, shape, or form are there 18 teams better than Florida.
Yeah,
unbelievable.
I have no clue. All right. What else we got here? I mean, for the Alabama side of things, again, we kind of just mentioned it. Alabama defensively, I think they were going to this game. They were 350th in the country turnover percentage defense. Now they're 356th. So let me tell you the teams that are worse than Alabama in this category. The worst team in this category is Illinois. So they're proof you can still do it. Coastal Carolina, Loyola Chicago, Stonehill, North Florida, Northern Colorado, James Madison, Charleston Southern, and UNC Greensboro. Mississippi State's also sandwiched right there with Alabama. But it's not always the biggest thing, but like that's what we say, Max. Is sometimes like you're going to run into teams like this where they just completely, you can't stop them. And if you're just allowing them to kind of get what they want and there's no mistakes, like legitimately 2 turnovers, you've got to add more pressure to that. And that's why it's going to be such a fascinating dynamic with Alabama and Texas A&M, because that's all A&M does is turn people over, you know? And so I think that's going to be a fun matchup when we talk about that one on Wednesday. That is the game of the midweek for sure. And then the game of the week is going to be Florida and Texas A&M. So, yeah.
Jeez. Yeah, I mean, as you know, as good as Alabama can be when they're playing at their best, they've got some drillings in SEC play, some double-digit victories over Cats, Mississippi State, and Mizzou. They're 4-4 in the conference now, and it's a long ways away from 7-1. I don't expect Texas A&M to just win out here, but I mean, at 4-4 and Florida at 7-2, I mean, a lot of ground to make up.
Yeah.
In terms of the race, because we've kind of been grouping all these teams in the race for like about a week and a half, 2 weeks now, talking about how close it is. It's starting to spread out a little bit.
Yeah, if you look at it for Alabama, they still have road games at Auburn, Ole Miss, LSU, Tennessee, Georgia. Home games against A&M, South Carolina, Arkansas, Mississippi State, and Auburn. So, not the worst schedule, but you're 4-4. That's the problem.
Right.
So, again, if you're looking at it just from an SEC title race standpoint, I mean, there's half the league ahead of Alabama right now, it feels like. So, they're not going to. I don't think they're. I don't want to say it's 0% chance.
No.
But it's not high.
No.
So, not much. All right. So upcoming schedules, and we'll get some catch up on some super chats here in a second. As we said, Florida will not play in the midweek. That's a shame. I'd like to see Florida play in the midweek. Can they just put on an exhibition or something?
Yeah.
I'd like to watch the Gators play. We got to wait till next Saturday. You kidding me? To watch this team play again? We'll go back and do a midweek stream of the national championship game. How about that? They're at A&M next Saturday. Circle it. Game of the year to this point. And then they're at Georgia the following Wednesday. So, tricky little stretch coming up for the Gators.
Always a tricky one. That's always a tricky one. Florida
tricky
at
little
Georgia,
stretch.
always close.
Tricky stretch coming up for them. And, Alabama hosts A&M on Wednesday. A little short action week max because they played on Sunday.
Yep.
And then they go to Auburn. So, big week for the Tide, too. So,
I don't have the numbers right in front of me, but I'm pretty sure A&M's 5-1 against the spread on the road this year. They've been lethal on the road.
What do you think that spread would? If you had to set the spread right now for Texas A&M and Alabama, what would you set it as? Or what do you
5.5?
What do you think it will be set at? Alabama 5.5?
Yeah, probably.
They just want me to put all my money on A&M, don't they?
Yes.
That's exactly what they want.
I might do it too.
We'll see. Could be the spot game for Alabama. Bounce back spot.
It could. Yep, it could.
It could. Not really worked against A&M this year. All right. Let's catch up on some super chats here as we get to Zach with a $2 super chat earlier. Says not everybody can go into Florida and win. Yeah, there's a team that's done that this year. I do recall. Jeff, $5 super chat. The constant offensive motion and flow against South Carolina looked like it didn't change today. Only a few turnovers. Loved it. Yeah, they were. You could tell Florida was finding their groove a bit offensively. And again, you thought Alabama could have offered a bit more of a pushback, but it just didn't happen. They were very active, as Jeff notes here.
Yeah, Florida on Evan Mia's resume ranking, I think they're about to jump into the 3 to 5 seed range. Florida is going to be analytics wise one of the, just based on the resume and the close games that they lost this year that aren't added to that resume. 1 point at Duke and a few different close games, Arizona. They are going to be one of the most dangerous teams just relative to what their seed is. If they're a 3, a 4, they're going to be top 8 in the analytics. Florida is gearing up to be that one outside the number 1 seed team that you do not want to see get put into your region. They're going to be one of the biggest differences between where the analytics say they are and what if they get a 4 seed. Man, dangerous.
Yeah, you don't want any part of that.
No,
for sure. Sean's here with a $5 super chat. Little King Chinyelu statement game. I mean, he's had a lot of those now. That's why I said, man, I know. if you were filling out a ballot for the first team all SEC right now, like he's got to be on there. Like you can't just look at all the guys who are scoring 25 a game and say those guys must be on there. You got to look at
Yeah.
the overall
No.
impact that this guy's making on this game, and give me this guy over some guys that are scoring 22, 24, 26, whatever, like, and not doing a whole lot else. Like, give me this guy because he's one of the most impactful players in the entire league. I mean, you make an argument he may be the most impactful player.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, it's just so got to be there. He should be getting SEC Player of the Year votes too. I don't think he would win it right now, but he should be getting votes.
We had a comment comparing him to Patrick Young earlier, and that just happens to be one of his top 3 KenPom player comps.
That's right. Yeah.
Like, dude is just an absolute difference maker. He's the best big in the league right now, for sure.
I just realized that he also got the Armando Bacot comparison also now. I don't think that one was in there last week when we looked at it, but little Bacot.
I'm interested to see what Ruben's conference play averages are compared to AG's, because they've both been like double machines.
Yeah. Boy, I'm glad we don't have to fill out a first team all SEC right now. Because limiting it to 5 guys, oh my goodness.
All right, Rueben is 14-11 in SEC play right now. 14-11 through a month of SEC play is absolutely bananas. And then AG is 16-10. These guys are unreal. Oh my gosh, those numbers are nuts for a full month into conference play.
Yeah. All right. Let's see if there's anything else we got here. By the way, shout out. Appreciate the fine words. Best channel for college basketball. Yeah, you know, we probably are going to do a lot more national stuff when we get to the tournament. We may try to do some more this month. It's possible. Just since we are getting close to tournament time, everybody wants to look at matchups and all that. But like, we will probably be previewing the entire tournament. Like, I think more so this year than we ever have before. So
sign me up.
Yeah, March will be very busy around here, I would say. Yeah, but all right. Let's see what else we got here. By the way, Brian asked about why so many blowouts in the SEC this year. So if you go to KenPom, blowout percentage, games decided by 19 or more points, I guess, or greater than 19 points. 13 of the 70. So pretty much 19% of your games have been decided by that. It says it's 6th out of all conferences, Max.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's highest or lowest. Say lowest, right? So I mean, it's not on the highest end, I would suppose, but I think maybe like you have seen some of these, especially between the upper tier teams, right?
Yeah.
That's been the biggest surprise. Like whether it's Vanderbilt, Kentucky, whether it was like Auburn, Arkansas, this game, Arkansas, Vanderbilt. You know, there's just a lot of ones like that. So, yeah,
it's like a lot
I
of
don't know.
spotlight games, you know, like ESPN games,
Yeah.
you know, you know, highlighted games where the spread's close and then it ends up just being a one-sided blowout. Yeah, it feels like there's been a good amount.
Quite a few. Yeah, I would agree. I think Florida Vanderbilt's been the best game so far.
Yeah.
I mean, if we're talking about between the top teams.
Yeah.
A&M Tennessee was obviously good, double overtime game there. But I think
Missouri,
that Florida Vanderbilt.
Double buzzer beater.
True, that one. I think the one that felt like it was the biggest was probably Florida Vanderbilt, just given kind of where both teams were at that second. But, yeah.
Yeah, 94. Come on.
Yeah.
Ridiculous.
All right, we got a $2 super chat here. With a comment on Nate Oates, we will just say thank you for the $2 and leave it at that. All right, so now your updated standings in the SEC. A&M 7-1, Florida 7-2, the trio at 6-3, Vanderbilt, Arkansas, Kentucky, Tennessee 5-3, Auburn 5-4, Missouri 5-4, Alabama 4-4, Texas 4-5, Georgia 4-5, Ole Miss 3-5, Mississippi State 3-6, LSU, South Carolina 2-7, Oklahoma 1-8. So, yeah. So I think, and let me see if FanDuel has updated their SEC winner odds after this game. and we can take a look at that. They've not, but Florida's national championship odds have taken a huge boost, though.
What are they?
Arizona plus 440, Michigan plus 500, Duke plus 600, Houston plus 1200, Florida's plus 1500 now.
Creeping up there.
Same number with Illinois and UConn.
It hasn't updated since the Florida-Alabama game, but this morning's update on Torvik's TourneyCast, 47.4% chance at 9 bids, a 33.4% chance at 10, and then 15.8% chance of 8. So it's looking, 50% chance pretty much that we get 9. Then next most likely is 10 rather than 8. So kind of up to Texas to see if they get in or not. Yeah.
I think Georgia, too, is the team to circle. I would circle Georgia just in case.
Yep.
This 3-game losing streak, as we said. Remember, they're at LSU next Saturday, then they host Florida. So keep an eye on Georgia. So, yeah. You know what? Hey, it's okay. Hey, we appreciate the support.
It happens.
Some super chats will show, some we won't, depending on what they say. But, of course, we always appreciate the support from our fine members here at the channel. So, yeah. All right. Josh asked a question here. I'm just like, wait a second, what do we talk about next? Oh, yeah. I don't really have anything to talk about. We had one game here. But it's Sunday. There's no NFL. What else are we going to do?
Come on.
Max's team's not winning the Super Bowl until next week. So he's got plenty of time.
They're not winning.
Josh asks, over under 4 SEC Sweet 16 teams. Ooh, that number. I wish you would have said it at 3. But
4?
I think 4 is the number. I like 4, but
I'll go under.
That's why he said it at 4. I like the push. Honestly, I will probably say I'll say over.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm gonna go under. Usually, it's the opposite. Usually, you're the pessimist, and I usually am going way overboard.
If Josh said 3.5, I'd take the over and feel pretty good.
I would also take
at
the
4.
over. Yeah.
I realize it's a little tough, but listen, I'm looking at that group and saying, so you're telling me if I can pick 5 teams, okay? And I'm just going to randomly pick the 5 teams that are listed at the top of KenPom. All right, that's the order I'm going in. Let's just say that's the random 5 I'm picking. Okay, Texas A&M, Florida, Vanderbilt, Arkansas, Kentucky. Those are listed as the top 5 on KenPom. All right. All those teams can win 2 games. I would say all those teams, except for maybe Florida, in the wrong matchup, I think, could lose in game 1 or game 2. So,
yeah,
I'm
it's
okay
tough
with that.
this year. Yeah,
I'm okay with
it's
picking
really
that. And then
matchup.
it's like,
It's really
it is.
matchup.
And then you know what? You're telling me that's my 5, okay? But I can also have a pick from this group of teams: Tennessee, Auburn, or Alabama. I'm okay with that too. So, again, I could see all 3 of those teams losing in the first round. I could see all 3 of those teams winning multiple games. So, I'll take the over. I'm going to be optimistic, okay? Be optimistic on the 4.
If you ask that same question, though, to the Big 10 and the Big 12, they're not even hesitating for a second, and they're saying over. There's only 16 here.
Yeah,
Okay,
I know. I get it.
Someone's got to get left out. There's going to be, between the Big 10, Big 12, and SEC, one conference is going to be greatly disappointed in their Sweet 16 representation. Greatly disappointed. Unless they literally just run it, and it's the top of each 3 conference soaking the whole thing up, then I guess. But
yeah.
Those conferences would take the over as well, I believe.
Yeah. I don't know. All right. By the way, FanDuel has started to do their individual make the tournament odds for specific teams. There are 2 SEC teams currently on their list of 7 So they've got odds up for 7 teams. You want to know the 2 SEC teams? You want to
Who we
guess
got?
who they
Who we
are?
got? Texas.
Texas is one of them. Texas to make the tournament right now, minus 150.
Ooh.
Want to guess the other team?
Kentucky.
Missouri.
Ooh.
Missouri currently plus 155 to make the tournament.
Really? They're that close to even?
Yep. The 3
Torvik
teams
has them as a 9% chance.
Well, yeah, that may not be great odds. I don't know if you want that necessarily on those odds. That's a little bit better maybe. UCLA minus 190, Texas minus 150, Ohio State minus 140. The plus on these 4, Missouri, USC, Virginia Tech, and Seton Hall. So it's the 4 teams.
Okay.
There you have it.
Kind of lost my hope with Mizzou. Maybe I need to light that fire back up.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
All right. Okay. There you go, guys. Some thoughts. Look at it. Look who's back. The optimistic rattlesnake. It's a good time to be optimistic if you're a Florida fan. $5 super chat. Says we've taken Kentucky's spot. The number 1 basketball school in the SEC. Not even close, says the rattlesnake here. So we appreciate
Kentucky is the cream of the crop right now. Can't deny it.
Yep. All right.
Or not
We're gonna
Kentucky.
hop off.
Did I say Kentucky?
You did say Kentucky.
I meant Florida.
We know what you meant.
We've been live for a while.
You meant the Kentucky Wildcats. College Hoops 2K8.
Yeah.
Blake Barr, the cream of the crop.
Yep.
We are coaching our boys to an NCAA tournament championship.
Yep.
Coming up this week, episode 4 of Blake Barr here at Southeastern 16. Become a member. I'll drop the link in. If you're an MVP or legend, you get to watch live as we absolutely make fools of ourselves playing a college basketball game from 18 years ago. And, yeah, all that. So
We just had signing day.
we just had signing day. Yeah. What's that one guy's name?
A lot happening around the program.
Fabrice something.
Oh,
got
that
the
was
long
dying at it.
blonde hair. Great name. I don't think we signed him, but
No.
it's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun. All right. Josh with the $5 super chat here. It's with attorneys becoming max. All the big boys are separating from the mid-majors. Last year was Power 5 team heavy. Cinderella. I mean, I think that's true. It's hard to ignore that. Yeah, I think it's true. So
just wait until the Billikens have something to say about
I know
that.
that's the give me. You know what's going to happen when I said 5 on the SEC Sweet 16. 2 SEC teams are getting Miami of Ohio and St. Louis, and they're getting dropped in the second round by those 2 teams. So,
yeah, Billikens appointment television. There are Tritons from last year. We're
where's
jumping
Sam
on.
Smith.
We're jumping
Like,
on.
would he get rid of his coach right now for Josh Scherz? That's the question. I think we know Sam's answer. So
Josh Scherz is as good as it gets when it comes to coaching an offense up. Just ridiculous.
like, where's that guy going to be coaching next year? Is he going to be coaching in the SEC? I don't think.
I would absolutely love it.
I would too, but I don't think he is. So
He's been number 1 in effective field goal percentage in 2 of the last 4 years. The number 1 most efficient offense in 2 of the last 4 years. That's no one does that. Josh Scherz does that.
I didn't realize he's from Brooklyn.
Oh, is he
I had
really?
no idea. Yeah, for some reason I thought he was more of like a Midwest guy, but yeah, he's from Brooklyn.
Josh. Yeah.
No idea. So
I think I saw him at the Mart yesterday picking up some milk.
Actually, he was just outside. He lives across the street actually.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, there you go. So he was also the coach at one point. I don't know if you realize this. He was associate head coach at Queens.
Which
I was gonna see if I could get you on that. So we just talked about Brooklyn. Yes, it was Queens, North Carolina, Max. He was also the associate head coach at High Point. Don't forget that. So plenty of connections with Josh Scherz here. So
all
right.
A lot of talent, Brooklyn. A lot of talent.
Out of town. All right. We are out of here. You guys enjoy your Sunday. We've given you an hour today. Tomorrow, power rankings. If you're an MVP or legend, I already put up the poll, so you can leave your 1 through 16 power rankings. I put mine in with about 8 minutes left in this Florida game. I felt pretty confident about where I was going to put Florida and Alabama. So we'll find out what our composite rankings look like. Because, boy, Max, we talked about this before. We got a mess. And from I want to say 3 to 7 to 8, maybe a big mess of teams. So,
great.
Remember,
that'll be great.
Remember, one game doesn't make a power ranking. But boy, we're gonna hear about this one tomorrow. Whenever we see where certain teams are ranked, perhaps. So we'll find out. It's composite ranking. All right, you guys are the best. Thanks as always for watching. Oh, wait a second. That's what happens when you do 2 streams in a day. You forget. Did you actually tell people about your fine friends over at Ann Collar? That's what I was saying to myself here a second ago. Turns out, no, I did not. But Big Pat jumping in just as we're about to hop off. Great timing, Big Pat. Ann Collar, performance menswear brand. You got here just in time, actually, for the best part of the show, the ad reads.
Jeez.
That makes polos, button-ups, quarter zips, pants, you name it. They're stretchy, affordable, and they make you look good. They've invented the Workleisure. Stain resistance, a feature. Comfort, a feature. Of course, who wouldn't want comfort? Wrinkle resistant, machine washable. Again, say goodbye to the iron and the dry cleaner. You don't need it. You can spill the Coke, coffee, beer, whatever you want to spill on it. Just pick it up, throw it right on there. It'll come out. The price is exceptional. Head over there right now. SEC 16 for 16% off. SEC 16, 16% off over at Ann Collar. Their stuff is just unreal. Just as Big Pat says, 72 points in the paint for the Florida Gators, also unreal. That's the kind of quality you're getting over there. And don't forget about ROKFORM, ROKFORM.com, the world's strongest magnetic phone case, extreme protection, super strong magnets, rock lock, secure mounting. Actually, Max just put in a nice little order for another little ROKFORM accessory on the way. A little power bank. After the ice storm around here, I said, you know what, might not be a bad idea to a power bank. So got one on the way from ROKFORM. You can get 25% off over there, SEC25, 25% off over at ROKFORM.com. We'll drop the links to both of our fine sponsors in the chat. And remember, new sponsor starting tomorrow. Our new friends over at Icon Wallets. Icon Wallets. Tell you, plenty of icons in the chat right now. But Icon Wallets, you're going to get a pretty good deal over there coming up. So we'll tell you all about them tomorrow on the Power Rankings. But yeah, Icon Wallets, you're going to get quite a fun little deal from our friends over there. So, all right, we're out of here now. We appreciate you guys for watching. As always, don't forget Timmy Pizza's back again.
Timmy.
Condon loves playing against Alabama. Yeah, we didn't bring up those stats, but he's had some pretty good games there. So, we'll see if that streak continues.
Oh my gosh. Real quick. Todd Golden, I believe this is a quote. Todd Golden.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, our bigs were in the paint for 1, 2, 3 seconds and then scored.
Oh no. Oh, of course.
Take a little jab back at Coach Oates. Take a little jab. Ooh. Come on.
Oh boy. Well, you know what? That's worth noting. So we'll ask
another Gators Tide matchup. And
Alabama doesn't want that anymore. No, every time they play an SEC tournament, Florida beats them by 15 or 20, puts up 100. So I don't know if that's what they want. But how do you update your membership, Will? I think you just, if you're on the mobile device, I think there's a join button or something, and I think it gives you the option. It'll show you the 3 tiers, the supporter tier, MVP, legend. If you want to become an MVP, I think you just hit on that. It should work that way. But the mobile stuff's a little bit harder sometimes than just pulling up on a computer or something. But Just find the join button. Maybe go to the homepage. Try that. Like go to the main Southeastern 16 page on your mobile device or whatever, and then you can hit the join button there. See if that'll work. So, all right. We appreciate you guys for watching as always. Thanks to our fine friends and sponsors, all that good stuff. Thanks to everyone, the usual, the regulars jumping in here. We always enjoy it. That's Big Butler Brett says, I'm good. I'm good with that Florida matchup. I'm okay. We don't need that. All right. Thanks for watching. We'll talk to you soon. Southeastern 16 presented by FanDuel.